It's time to welcome the Wine Ladies with Georgia and Susanne. An entertaining hour topped up with great ideas about wine, where to dine, anything and everything to do with the vine. Great conversation, lots of laughter, guests from all walks of life, food and wine, music, art, sports, and much more, all on the Wine Ladies.
It's us, the Wine Ladies. I'm Georgia.
And I'm Susanne, and welcome everyone to the Wine Ladies One Sip at a Time. We're here live on thatchannel.com.
And of course to all of our friends and fans on Facebook and Twitter, thanks for joining us and a Happy New Year to you. We hope you all have a fantastic 2011 filled with many, many vinous discoveries from around the world.
Now, with so many wineries and regions producing better and better wines out there, really the world is truly our oyster. So why not think or drink outside of the box and explore a little bit more this year? All right, that's one of our New Year's resolutions, to be sure, and we're not talking all about wine.
No, absolutely, to be sure, as per today's show, actually, and we're going to get into that in just a few moments. But before we do that, I just want to quickly mention there's a couple of events that Susanne and I are going to be involved with in 2011. The first one coming up is Friday, January 14th to the 16th. It is the London Wine and Food Show taking place at the Western Fair Entertainment Centre. Friday night is Girls' Night Out. It is presented by the Girls' Night Out Wines, and we will be there on the show stage at 7:30, introducing everybody to a few special tips on wine tasting, how to get the most out of your glass.
Great wine, wine and cheese, wine and chocolate, with our special guest, Chef David Cook, who will be with us. And then at 8:30 p.m., we'll be guiding a small group through a private tasting session with a variety of Girls' Night Out wines. For tickets, westfair.com.
That's going to be a great, great show, everybody. So if you can, hopefully you can make it out there. Now, the second event, quickly we want to mention, it's the 4th annual Niagara Spring Bridal Show, taking place February 5th, taking place at the Club Italia Niagara Falls. This is one-stop shop for brides leading up to the big day.
Now, why did we mention that, Georgia?
People are probably wondering.
Well, we'll be making a guest appearance. It's all in great fun, celebrating a girl's last single night out. That's what it's going to be all about. From wine to food to dessert and more. Now, the first 100 brides to call 1-905-641-1984. That's Niagara Life Magazine, will receive complimentary tickets for themselves and 3 other guests to our traditional toast now, Georgia, with a glass of wine.
I thought you'd never ask. Okay. This is all the wine we're going to see here today, actually, Susanne.
Cheers,
so
everybody.
Make it count. Cheers,
Happy New Year.
everyone.
All right. Now, Georgia, let's get on with the show.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Now, our topic today, it's a departure from wine, as we indicated, to a spirit that is undeniably a part of modern pop culture. It is celebrated in many songs by many, from Steely Dan and the Eagles to the Rolling Stones and Jimmy Buffett, a spirit that's been around for over 200 years, and it is growing in popularity. The delicious and often misunderstood tequila.
There's a lot more to tequila than one might think. It is a spirit very, very rich in history, in complexity, and versatility. Joining us today, our guest, a tequila and mescal aficionado, a writer, a blogger, a politician, actually. I don't know if we're going to get into that today, but he also happens to be an incredible expert on tequila who knows everything there is to know, right from the root of the blue agave plant and up. Ian Chadwick, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a delight to be here.
Well, thanks for making the trek over from Collingwood. You made it this time without too many problems with snow.
That's not too much snow on the highways right now, but by the time I get back, who knows?
Well, we're going to have a great show today because tequila is one of those drinks, like Susanne, I think you were saying. First of all, it's rising in popularity, although a little more slowly in Canada than the U.S. You were mentioning to us. Maybe we can start off by you telling us, first of all, what is tequila?
Tequila is a distilled product. It's a spirit. It's made from a plant called the blue agave, and that makes it a little different because most spirits are either made from a fruit, like a grape, or from a grain, like a whiskey. This is made from the head of a plant, and it grows up. When it's trimmed off, the leaves are trimmed off, it looks like a giant pineapple. And it can grow up to about 150 kilograms, although most of the ones they harvest today are somewhere between 20 and 50. Quite large. They take that and they cook it, then they squeeze the juices out of it, ferment it, and then distill it. It's grown, it's native to North America. It's actually North America's oldest distilled drink. And it's from Mexico, of course.
Yes.
But it's a denomination of origin. So it means it can only be grown in a very small area of Mexico.
How long does it take for the agave plant to grow up, per se, that you can harvest it?
8 to 10 years.
Wow.
So you have to think about the people growing it. They have to think a long time into the future about their crops, because they start planting it today. The earliest they're going to have it in the bottle is going to be 8, 9 years. And for the older ones, the aged tequilas are going to sit in a barrel up to 3, 5 years.
It's a big investment then to make
big
tequila.
investment in both money and time.
And that's about 3 times the amount that you have to have your grapes on the vine. You know, you can wait about 3 years before you can harvest your first grape. So this is like 8 or 9 years.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Is
incredible.
it difficult to grow?
It grows in some specific kinds of soil and climate. Agaves, there's 400 species of agaves, and they grow all over the place. And if you go to Mexico, you'll see them everywhere you look. But the blue agave, the type that's used for tequila, only grows in a fairly limited region. It has to be certain kinds of soil, predominantly volcanic soils.
Okay.
It likes hot days and cool nights.
Sounds like grapes.
Very much, very similar, except it tends to like the higher altitudes as well.
Okay.
As for growing, you could probably get a bud and grow it at home, but it wouldn't produce a very good tequila plant because the environment in your home isn't what it is on the hills.
So it has to be the blue agave plant to be a tequila.
Is it kind of bluish in color? Is that why it's called that?
Verdigris is kind of a gray bluish color.
Okay.
It's Mexican law says that you can only use this particular plant, and tequila is actually one of the most highly controlled spirits in the world too, because the Mexican government has a whole set of rules as to what you can and can't put into it, where it can be grown, where the plant can be grown, when it can be cut, the sugar content of the plant when it's cut, all sorts of things like that.
Again, much like the AOC and the VQA rules having to do with wine. You have to have a certain percentage of alcohol, you have of the bricks when the grapes are picked, and all of that sort of thing as well.
Right, and every distiller I've ever been to has a small mini lab because they have to be able to test everything as they go through. So.
Okay, so you brought in an array of different things here today.
Certainly has.
So I guess we're going to be tasting some tequila. I know is there 5 or 6 different kinds of tequila also, Ian?
There's 3 major kinds of tequila,
Okay.
and I brought a sample of each one.
Okay.
The clear stuff that you see is called Blanco.
Blanco.
This is tequila that isn't aged. It may be stored in a stainless steel vat, but it's not aged. It can actually be bottled right from the still.
Okay.
The next one up from that, and I'll just show you the little one, it's called a reposado, means rested. That's when you start to see the coloring, and it can go from a very pale blonde color to kind of a dark, where you start to see the caramel starting to come into it. That's aged in oak barrels.
Okay.
And that can be aged up to a year, 2 months to a year.
Okay.
And how long it ages and the size of the barrel will determine the color it gets into it.
And I guess also getting increasingly more expensive, having to do also with the inventory, storing, taking longer to get get the money back for it.
And loss too, because Mexico's normally a fairly hot climate, and so you store barrels in a hot climate and a hot dry climate, and you tend to have a lot of loss. And the longer it stays, the greater the loss. So therefore, the older the tequila, the more and more expensive it becomes.
Okay.
The next
Is that considered the angel share? Have you heard that before?
Yes, I have, actually. And a lot of the distilleries also have pictures of the Virgin up, too, and they will talk about that.
With a smile on her face saying, thank you for my tequila shot today.
Well, we're going to go to a break in just a moment, but before we do, I just want to mention to everybody out there that George and I are doing a fantastic wine event on February the 17th at Cucci Restaurant. It's for the Heart and Stroke Foundation. We're going to have a number of fabulous winemakers come by. We're going to have a chance to taste their wines. They'll be paired with some wonderful food. We'll be raising money, and we're going to have a fantastic time, music, silent auction. So we invite you to come down. You can check it out on the Wine Ladies Facebook page. All the details are there, or thewineladies.com. We'll be right back in just a moment. Don't go away. More about tequila.
Hey, Susanne, it's the only machine that I need.
I know, it's a great workout in just a fraction of the time.
It made me get excited about workouts again.
T-Zone Vibration is making people sit up and take notice. Employing the newest technology and fitness equipment, T-Zone Vibration gives you an hour workout in just 10 minutes.
Try it. Believe it. You'll want to bring one home.
T-Zone Vibration.
Call 905-483-8676. T-Zone Vibration, 905-483-8676. In Beauty Med Spa is constantly researching the latest innovations from around the world and bringing them home to you. It's a wonderful meeting of Eastern philosophies of skin and body care with exciting and innovative Western technology. All the In Beauty Med Spa health and wellness programs are medically supervised. A physician and dietitian are also available for client consultations. In Beauty Med Spa. Inspire the nature of beauty. Visit inbeautyspa.com.
Hey, Georgia. Hey, Suzanne. Welcome to Girls' Night Out. Did you remember the wine?
Of course, after all, we're the wine ladies.
We're in the kitchen, so what wine did you bring?
Well, for our Girls' Night Out, we brought Girls' Night Out. I brought the Chardonnay. I brought the Merlot.
Well, my guy bought me this.
Too funny, the Rosé. Well, let the party begin.
Girls Night Out Wines. Hugely popular VQA wines best enjoyed with friends. Available at the LCBO and other fine retail locations. For more information, go to girlsnightoutwines.com.